Thanks for tuning into the trade setup right here on BloombergQuint Live. I'm Niraj Shah, and it's Wednesday morning, and it's a day which has got a backstop for the bulls, and I'll tell you why. First, what the U.S. markets did in yesterday's session, and I think, aside of course, what the headline numbers did, which is go up a little bit across the board, Dow, Nasdaq, and S&P kind of went up a little bit here and there. But the broader end of the spectrum in the US markets actually had a good run. The small caps did really well for themselves, and that is maybe heartening from somebody who's investing at the broader end of the US spectrum. But it just shows the breadth that is there in the US markets too, which is not too bad. Now, this augurs well for our markets. But by the way, before I get to our markets, just a couple of updates about the US markets themselves. One, it's not just in our markets that the market breadth is moving higher. If you look at there's this chart on the Bloomberg terminal which shows the move at the broader end of the spectrum, and consequently also shows the number of stocks hitting 52-week highs. So look at this, the breadth debate around the US markets. The advanced decline line, which is this white line, and forget the yellow line is just a trend line, but the white line is essentially the advanced decline line, which, as you can see, keeps on moving higher. It is inching upwards, and at the below and the lower end of the graph are the number of stocks hitting 52-week highs, the blue bars. And as you can see, even though they may not be at the peak, but you can very well see that towards the period that we are in, we are again starting to see new stocks making 52-week highs, which is actually pretty heartening, right? So the broader end of the spectrum at the US markets is actually doing well. Now, today is an important day. Today and tomorrow is an important day. And why I'm telling that it could be a backstop for the bulls across the world. The Joe Biden stimulus plans will be unveiled tomorrow, and the US CPI data will be released today. So US CPI data might well have a bearing on what the dollar does. The dollar index after 3-4 days has come off a little bit, but if indeed the CPI data is meaningfully higher, it could be impacting the dollar accordingly. But because the stimulus proposal will be unveiled tomorrow, there is a bit of a backstop, right? I don't think too many people in their right mind would really want to take large short positions aside of what could be a substantially larger stimulus than what anybody anticipates. And therefore, I doubt that bullish positions would have a problem. This is my limited understanding. Of course, I could be wrong, but I do believe that this is a fairly decent assessment. So keep that at the back of your mind. As I said, the dollar index continues to rise higher, but has just come off a little bit in yesterday's session. Now, what is Asia and SGX Nifty doing? That's the key thing, right? Most of the Asian bourses were mixed. So you had some stocks, some indices doing well, some not. HSI marginally in the green, Kospi trying to recover from the lows. So it's a mixed bag out there, but a larger tinge of green. The SGX Nifty certainly has a tinge of green. That index is poised to start higher. The website indicated a start, which is about 14,633, which is about 0.25% higher. So that's not a bad start. And you would want to believe that with Reliance having found its mojo, you would probably have some bit of support from the big boy. So the trade setup, if you just look at the trade setup yesterday as well, or what happened in trade yesterday, it was a very narrow uptick and couple of stocks, right? Yesterday's gains were largely due to movement in Reliance and HDFC Bank. Yes, PSU banks gained, but PSU banks don't move the needle on the Nifty, So Reliance and HDFC Bank, it was centered around that. And frankly, if you just look at the movement in Reliance, both on the technical and the derivative parameters, you would want to believe that there is some more uptick out here left. Just analyze Reliance individually, viewers, and you will see that there is some more chance of a trading upside in Reliance Industries in the near term. So that should provide a bit of support. Autos continue to inch higher. Quarterly previews indicate a very strong Q3. Tata Motors wholesale numbers that came out yesterday are also a bit of a surprise. So let's wait and watch how it shapes up for autos in the session today. The only issue, I think, is that India VIX has just inched up a bit. Volatility is inched up, and we are not anywhere close to the expiry. Keep that at the back of your mind. So therefore, that might be a bit of a worry. And the FIIs long unwinding is a bit of a concern as well. Yesterday too, a large degree of contracts, F&O longs were unwound. It's still in the long side, but they are slowly unwinding the long positions. That may be a bit of a concern. Otherwise, it's okay. The FI flows continue to be positive. Yesterday was not a very large number, just about 500, 600 crores, 571 crores. Yeah. So that was not a very large number. Nevertheless, the long positions for now stay. let's wait and watch. As I said, while we may granularly analyze and slice and dice the data, for now, the biggest thing remains what happens on the stimulus part, and which is coming out tomorrow. So until then, I doubt too many short positions. Today, a couple of very important numbers, Infosys as well as Wipro. Wipro, I reckon, will come out post-market hours. Infosys may come out just around market closing or maybe slightly post-market closing. So between 245 to 330 or 345 is where Infosys will come out with. A couple of other non-nifty names. 5paisa Capital could be interesting. Watch out. In all likelihood, the numbers will be good. CAC and GTPL Hathway are the other two that people should be watching out for. But what about stocks that will react today? I don't have too many on my plate. There are a few upgrades that have come in, and I'll talk about that. The stock of the day, viewers, has to be Bharti Airtel. Now, all of you probably know the news. For the people who don't quite know or can't quite know the complete implication, I'll read it out. This will be the stock of the day. It's received approvals for relevant downstream investments. As per the company release, the company said that it's initiating process to revise the foreign investment limit to 100% with immediate effect. So viewers, what had happened, that because their foreign investment limits were scaled down, because they were not able to notify because their subsidiaries didn't have the 100% FDI, NSDL had not reflected the higher FI limit. Consequently, MSCI had reduced the weightage. Now, what will happen, because Bharti Airtel will revise the limits, NSDL will then notify the limits, and consequently, at some point of time, I'll lay out the dates as well. The MSCI will revise the limits upwards. Now, what would this mean? Essentially, one, these are so the announcement date will be 9th Feb. The adjustment date would be 28th Feb. I don't think there's a 29th Feb, 28th Feb, let's assume, doesn't matter. But the point is, because of this revision, the quantum of inflows that come in is very high. So Edelweiss alternate research yesterday said that the weightage are going up could result in inflows of $600 to $700 million for the Feb review. And Credit Suisse, on the note, have said that the target is 700. They are saying that the necessary government approvals are in place for the 100% FDI limit, and they see $1 billion worth of inflows due to the MSCI index weight increase. The point is, viewers, because smart money knows that this is going to happen. Actually, a lot of smart money already knew it's going to happen, which is why a lot of people had already piled in. But because this kind of inflow is going to come in, people will price that in and anyways buy the stock. So therefore, Airtel, have no doubts, will go up today. Most probably, there is a bit of a clear runway for Airtel now, because the only hurdle for Airtel, to be honest, was this change. Now that this change has happened, it should be considered positive. So don't be surprised if Airtel starts off higher and then inches higher. This is one stock that you have to watch out for today. The other one is Tata Elxsi. The numbers look pretty interesting. Quarter on quarter standalone numbers are giving out versus estimates. So 477 crores, the estimates were 455 net on the revenue front. Profits, 85 crores were the estimates. They've come in at 105 crores. EBITDA to 143 crores was the estimates. 134 crores was the estimates. 143 crores is what they've come out with. So very strong quarter. And look at the commentary. The management is saying that they've seen all-round growth across industries and geographies. They've seen new customer additions and large deals in both industries in the quarter. And they are entering the fourth quarter in the new year with a reinforced confidence of a strong deal pipeline across markets and industries and capabilities across verticals. This is very, very buoyant commentary. I wouldn't be surprised if Tata Elxsi starts off with a bit of a bang today. So do watch out for this stock as well in this session. The third one is Tata Motors. Now, they have clarified yesterday that they have not taken any decision regarding a strategic partner for its passenger vehicle business and denies all and any rumors suggesting the same. I reckon this could be in part due to the rumors around Tesla and Tata Motors combination. Now, Tesla for itself has entered India via their Bangalore investment. I think that's what's flying around in social media yesterday. So don't quite know if Tata Motors corrects. The wholesale numbers came out, which is a bit of a surprise as well, positively to some brokerages. So Tata Motors may have an indifferent reaction today. Keep that at the back of your mind. Don't just look at this and say that, oh, this means this stock will go down. There could be more to this story. So be careful about that. There are some brokerage upgrades. I think Goldman Sachs has upgraded the SBI or at least has raised the target price to, I think, 383 or thereabouts. So watch out for State Bank of India. Nomura has upped the target price on Mahindra & Mahindra Financial Services, I think, amongst other NBFCs. So that stock could be in focus as well. So a lot of stocks to watch out for. But I dare say Bharti Airtel would be taking the cake today. Thanks so much, viewers, for tuning in today. Have a profitable day ahead.